afternoon, investigators. We interrupt your Friday to bring you Friday investigations. Spry Curious. It's just me. Okay, so today we are looking at running your investigation business and a couple of little tips to make your investigation business thrive. Particularly this one is really useful if you're going out there in your own surveillance business. In this type of business, surveillance is very competitive if you do marital and relationship surveillance or you do any corporate kind of surveillance. If you can't communicate with potential clients in a way that wins their trust, you just sound like a dodgy marital and relationship surveillance operative. So what you do is you up your game. And our intent today is to help you do that. Now, it's not just limited to surveillance operatives. Maybe you're trying to break into the investigation industry and you've done everything right. You've set up your website, you've got your TikTok really humming and your YouTube and your LinkedIn's going really well. But sooner or later, you've got to get in front of a client face to face, and you've got to know what to do and how to go about it. G'day, Chris, mate. Good to see you. I'm going to be in touch with you on Monday, so stand by that coffee machine and that cup of coffee, buddy, and I'll be in touch with you. Great to see you. And yeah, happy Australian Day, everybody. Okay, I'm sure you're all enjoying it. G'day, Amber. Great to hear from you. Hope you're well. G'day, Jamie. Thanks for checking in. I'm really pleased with today's program. We've had this guest on before, but he's introducing you to some concepts that are going to be really valuable to you. Before I get into that, I've got to look at the news of this week. The big news of this week, the really big news of this week for investigators nationwide is this bunch of people. The Security Licensing and Enforcement Directorate, SLED, of New South Wales. They're in charge of licensing applications and they keep criminals and perverts out of the investigation industry in New South Wales through background checks and that sort of thing, and make sure anyone applying for a security licence, an investigation licence, a 2A licence for security risk management, firearms licenses, all that sort of thing, are suitable people to hold it. And what did SLED do this week? They communicated the number of licenses in certain categories in New South Wales. Now, the top one, the 2A licence there that you see on that list, is the security risk manager. That's the person that goes out and does the security risk assessments for banking, retail, events, regular happenings like university sports or games, that sort of thing. It might be the fireworks on New Year's Eve in Sydney, who knows? But that's what they do. Now, the interesting thing on this list is the bottom one. The 2E licence, there is 1,644 private investigators in New South Wales. What's significant about that? SLED have told you how many there are there, and that is 25 more than there were 3 years ago. Now, you can go to Industry Association AIPI and have scrambled eggs on soggy toast, and they will have a presentation by a police inspector about Operation Pink Socks, and you'll get nothing relevant in relation to it. Here, SLED, the understaffed, underfunded regulator in New South Wales has told us more information than you can get out of an industry association that's tired and out of touch. What a great job done by SLED. They're more responsive, more agile, more informative than the major industry association in that state. The regulator's more alive. That is absolutely astounding. Welcome along, everybody, at the board of the AIPI. Great to see you watching again this week. So if you are looking to join an industry association, people, join this one, the Academy of Investigation, Risk and Loss Adjusting Professionals. That's the one. It's free to join if you're an Australian Security Academy student. So Take advantage of that. Employers want you to be a member of an industry association. Why? Because their clients want them to be members of an industry association. That is an industry association that actually does CPD. So take advantage of that. Now, we're going to come to the purpose of our program today, and that is Scott. Scott is a stalwart of the industry, security and investigations, risk management, training around Australia. He has a really good communication style, and he likes to up people's games. Before I go into that, we're going to look at some basic marketing. Very, very basic marketing. My iPad's flat, so I had to do it the old-fashioned way. This circle represents a market. The market is worth $1 million. Okay? That's what this circle represents. It could be used furniture, could be new tyres, could be surveillance services, the marital and relationship, very competitive industry. It could be finance, doesn't matter what it is, that circle represents a market. Now, a very important Australian federal government department, the Australian Bureau of Statistics, you can jump on there and you can see what any market's worth. And I'll tell you that the Australian security industry is worth $4 billion a year, which is an amazingly large market in Australia with a population of $27 million. 27 million people. We don't have a population of dollars. Okay, it's been a difficult, hard week. All right, so you can find out the size of any market you like if it's substantial enough through the Australian Bureau of Statistics. Now, I don't think the Canary Breeders Association is going to be, a big value dollar market. I may be wrong. I may be totally wrong. G'day, Evan. Great to see you, mate. Great to see you watching down in beautiful South Australia. Thanks for checking in. I hope I've missed anyone. I'm by myself today. All right, so we've got the size of the market. And the Australian investigation industry is part of that security industry. And look, we're not going to make it to $1 billion as part of it, right? So it's quite a big industry. So I just want to introduce you to the concept that you see every day and bring it into perspective for you. Competition, price, cheap prices, discounts, supermarkets and sales. You see it every day. How does that work when you're trying to go for market share? It works like this. Like I said, iPad's down. Got to do it the old-fashioned way. Stay with me.
This circle represents a market. There are three competitors in this market, A, B and C. To gain market share, they have sales and steal business off each other, and it's a constant cycle of having a sale, gaining market share and missing out. All of a sudden, the borders shift, the market share changes, but it's just a continuous cycle of sale and low prices. What you have to do in your business is have a strategy that's successful. So you go outside that inner circle of price cuts and operate in the world of added value, leveraging off your unique selling proposition. You innovate, you lead, you control the market through your intelligent marketing strategies that are not based on cut prices.
So does that make sense to you? They're just chopping off a little piece of each other's market. It really practically stays the same. It doesn't move that much. Nobody gets anywhere. It's unprofitable and it's unsustainable. Goodbye business. That's why most businesses will go broke in their first 12 months operating in that area. Now, should you, in order to establish your marital and relationship surveillance investigation agency, take on lipstick investigations and cheaters or whoever they, I don't care, right, whoever they are, on price? That would be suicidal, okay? So you're not after the bargain basement people that are coming into the market. You want the ones that are coming into it with money. And when they ring you up and they talk through their problems and their issues, and it's not just marital and relationship, it could be the business. Someone's stealing something there, they don't know who, and they're going to engage you to do it. You've got to sound professional, upbeat, confident, and exude confidence that you can assist them with the problem that's keeping them awake at night. Just like the AIPI, I can assist them, no problem at all. Get the place back up, take it off life support, and energise it, no problem at all. You can do that. Do you have to go to university for 6 years to listen to university professors that have never run a business to teach that? No, you don't. You can learn how to do that in one day. And he's today's guest. He's going to tell you how. He's got a program running in Melbourne in February, and he's got a program running in Sydney in April. In less than 1 day, you can get the advantage on your side in winning investigation business from the general public who are seeking investigators. Here we go.
About the SPACCE program. The SPACCE program has been developed over a couple of years using a range of content that I've gleaned from close to 29 years in the security, safety and risk industry, and the additional training over the last 5 to 6 years that I've had with the leading experts around the world in facial micro expressions, in body language, in elicitation, deception detection, and statement and word analysis. We're going to be running these programs both in Sydney and for the first time ever going to be running one of the sessions in Melbourne as well. And the Melbourne session, I'm thrilled to announce, is going to be held at the Telstra Innovation Centre, which is going to be a very unique and special opportunity. And I'm very, very grateful that the opportunity has been extended for us to hold the event there. This program is basically for anybody who's wanting to enhance their communication skills, confidence, and their ability to influence, whether that's for converting sales, for starting personal relationships at a higher plane of trust, or if you're in the recruitment space and wanting to see through those GPT resumes in preparation and get to the true intent of a person, this program will have the skills for you. We're going to be running through all elements, starting from all the facial micro expressions with and tied to the main emotions, stepping through the nuances of non-verbal communication, which isn't just about the body language elements. There's a whole broad scope of things there. We'll be covering off deception detection elements and how to be able to pick up those things, because people under stress and duress, especially through deception, leak physiological changes. So we're going to share what that looks like. We're also going to be talking about how to enhance your confidence and how to enhance influence. At the base level, how to be able to manufacture positive gut feelings in another person. I'll say that sentence again. How to manufacture positive gut feelings in another person and everything that comes with that. It's an interactive program as well that's going to have this full depth of research. So it's like turning on a fresh set of eyes. People that have walked out of this program, and we've had a range of between government, corporate, and a broad range of corporations from media, finance, healthcare, a range of people attended these programs, all have said that it's been very, very impactful and given them a brand new skill set. Now, the program, the cost for the course is $11.99, but for the early bird registration is going to be $9.99. And in regards to the upcoming dates, it's going to be Wednesday, the 21st of February, is going to be in Victoria, as I said, at the Telstra Innovation Centre. And for New South Wales, it's going to be at the Presidium office there, and it's going to be on Wednesday, the 17th of April. That'll be the only space programs that'll be running for the first half of the year. So if connecting with people, enhancing your confidence and influence is important to you, I'd love to see you there.
Get the advantage on your side for less than $1,000 in 1 day. You'll pick up skills on how to communicate in person, win trust, on the phone, in front of groups of people, by a person who has established a thriving security business and training business and investigation and security risk management business in Australia. My word. Yes, Evan, they do. My word. Very much so. They've just done a big program including that in Thailand, and Scott includes this as part of it. Good point. Really pleased to see that, because if you think it's all European white now, and you go to those industry association meetings and you look around and you think they've all got silver hair, they're all wearing pinstripe suits, and it's a rather not really inclusive kind of place, you're spot on it. Scott doesn't do that. He ensures that he includes just what you asked for in his programs. And boy, I've watched him do it and he's very good at it. So great point. Thanks, Evan. All right. So, sure fact. Looking for people, please. Pat Henderson. Now, Pat Henderson is one of the greatest communicators in the investigation business in Australia. But I seriously don't think he has to go to that program. Not Pat. But he would have been to similar programs over the years. And when you see Pat in action communicating, whether it's in person or on the phone, you know he's a person who's been trained and uses their training, puts it into practical application. Now, he's looking for investigators all around Australia due to the success of their business and his ability to communicate. The investigation industry is not very good as a whole in promoting itself. Old-fashioned industry associations with elderly boards and stuff like that. That's why. I mean, it's just out of touch, all right? They probably think they have to dance on TikTok to get back in touch. No, they don't, right? But as an industry, with those type of leaders who can't communicate and rely on the old police inspector presentation, that's why it's not very good at communicating its positive side in itself. But I tell you what, this guy's good at doing it for his business. It's good on it. Proceeds of Crime Investigator is wanted by the Crime and Corruption Commission in Queensland. Now, what happens there is the criminal is convicted of whatever they did, and they figure out, that they stole $1 million out of the market somewhere, and you're the person in that role that's going to take it back off them. You're going to go and visit them in their cell, keep them updated on what you've confiscated, what you got when you auctioned it off for them, ask them if they've got anything in any garages around the place, storage areas, that sort of thing, and you're going to get the $1 million back. So that's what that role does. Now, I've had a last-minute role that came through today in New South Wales for a general insurance factual investigator. This came out of Melbourne, and it's an established investigation business in Melbourne, and they need one general insurance investigator. No, it's not online. It's going out, taking a record of interview from the claimant, statements from the witnesses in relation to the loss. You get paid travel time, you get paid kilometres, you get paid to read your instructions, and you get paid to write your report. And I guarantee you 100% you get paid on time every time with this employer. So if you are a general insurance investigator in New South Wales and you want to do old-fashioned general insurance investigations, going out, meeting the claimant at their workplace, in their home, wherever, get in touch with me. All right, so that's really important. Mike Evans at the Australian Security Academy, if you're a licensed general insurance investigator in New South Wales. If you are a nearly licensed general insurance investigator in New South Wales, don't be afraid to get in touch with me. If you're an Australian Security Academy student and you want that job, we'll make sure that we assist you to get it. Okay, so keep that in mind. Crown are looking for an internal investigator at Crown Casino. That's how I started my investigation career, but not Crown, but in the West Point Casino. That's all group. They're after an investigator for asbestos. Now, I know that sounds dangerous, but the injury would have happened 25 years ago, okay? So get in touch with Masswell Group down in Victoria, in Melbourne, if you'd like to have that job. ISG, Andrew from ISG is after a trainee Factual Investigator in New South Wales, you must be licensed. Where are these jobs, people? They're on the Australian Security Academy Private Investigator, Corporate and Government Investigations jobs page. Each week I try and update this. It's very hard to keep up with it because there's so many jobs and I'm so busy, I don't really have a lot of time to do it. But if you Google that, you have to ask to join it. That's where I put the jobs up, and that's where you'll see all these jobs and more. There was an interesting one this week. Woolworths want a major incident manager. Now that really makes you think, doesn't it? Major incident manager for Woolworths. What would you do? Well, obviously, each day they'd report on major incidents like a banana peel in aisle 5, maybe some grapes down in haberdashery, and they're all over it. And that's what their incident response people do. Well, on the surface, it looks like that, but I'm sure it's more than that. It could be pallets of beer in transit to the Woolworths liquor store, have an accident with a milk truck or something like that. It's going to be a major incident. Now, 200,000 employees at Woolworths. In the transport industry, they're more in transport than they are in retail because there's so many different diverse retail operations that have to stop transporting to them to keep them going. You are going to be part of that team that monitors that 24/7 for major incidents. Now, that could include accidents, load shifts and resulting truck rolls. It could include hijacking and theft. You're monitoring it and reporting it. You're not actually going out and intercepting the hijackers, but you're reporting it to the police. So that's a great role at Woolworths. And here's the beauty if you're in New South Wales. ICAC are after 2 electronic surveillance collections officers. So you're not collecting money like a collections officer. You're collecting the websites and the communication, the websites they go to, the communications between people who are under investigation by ICAC. Now, they might be talking to North Korean spies. They might be talking to a bunch of school, who knows? Could be a bunch of school kids, who knows? ICAC need the electronic surveillance operatives to monitor that. Then you report the findings of digital evidence to the teams. What a great job. This goes beyond just sitting there with headphones on, listening to conversations, bored, just numb out of your mind, right? Like you're stuck, like you're a hamster stuck in an exercise wheel, right? That's what it's like when you listen to those things. So this is a really great opportunity with ICAC. So keep that one in mind, put it on your must apply for. Eastside Investigations down in Victoria, been around forever, established investigation agency. They're after a surveillance operative who's licensed down in Victoria to work with them. So this is a great opportunity with Eastside. Get in touch with them. If you didn't quite catch that, hit the replay button and you can watch this again tomorrow night. You can watch it next week. You can stop it and see that it said Eastside Investigations, or that you have to go to this Facebook page to see where they are. I'm not treating you like a baby. I'm just reminding you that's how it works. That's the added value in my circle, outside my circle, okay? Along with free membership of an investigation association. If you are looking to contact Scott about his presentation in February in Melbourne, in April in New South Wales, his contacts are here. And again, you can stop that. If you want to enrol in Scott's program, and I highly recommend you do, if you're looking to up your game and become dominant in the area where you work, the link's in the description. Just click on it, take advantage of the early bird saving in Melbourne or New South Wales. The CFA in Victoria, Country Fire Authority, are after a team leader lessons management. Now, we live in a very soft world and everything's politically correct and softened down. What they're doing is just reviewing their attendance at the incident, accident, fire, event, whatever, what they can learn from that, basically what crapped out and what they can prevent from crapping out again. But it's going to be a specialised person that does it, puts the report together and disseminates that to the Country Fire Authority officers who will be very busy in Victoria at this time of the year. Scott's program, who should attend? Recruitment and training acquisition specialists, security specialists and investigators, that's us. Sales and service executives. If you're a one-person investigation agency, you're a sales and service executive as well. Business owners, business managers and leaders, any professional that's seeking to build trust, an entrepreneur wanting to connect with people and increase their revenue. That's who should be taking part in that program. At the end of the program, you will be able to rapidly and instantly build rapport, identify a range of non-verbals and adjust your communications accordingly. He just doesn't stand up there and rattle it all off. He makes you actually practice it, presenting and interacting with more confidence and success. No one presents with confidence like Scott Taylor. Enhanced skills of persuasion and negotiation. You're going to need that. Why are you going to need that, Amber? Because if you go for the big contract with a government department or a corporation to win their investigative services professional support supply, which you're going to be doing, you're going to need to know how to communicate confidently, not just in your tenders and rely on the written application, but when you go to the meeting and present it, that's when you're going to win their confidence. Why is it called SPACCE? It's specialised presentation, connection, confidence, and education. Why should we take Scott's word for it? Did anyone ever have any success with it? Let's have a listen.
To give you two examples of the best feedback that we've had recently, one person was in a business negotiation and negotiating with a software package with somebody. And normally for that, they feel they didn't have a lot of power or influence in the negotiation. Now, during the program, I gave them some information about hygiene gestures and what it looks like, what physiological changes you see when somebody's negotiating with you, if they still have more in the budget and more to spend, regardless of if they're saying that's my top dollar. As a result of the continued negotiations and using the approach from the skills taken for this person was able to save close to $45,000 from the software purchase. I've had recruiters that have gone through, and with a large position recently for a not-for-profit, a person had made through 2 interview panels already, and I was brought in to assist with the third, and the skills that were utilized during that time that I've passed on now by the approach we took for elicitation and getting information without asking questions, obtained the truth and honesty about this person with their depth, and with certifications and other parts turned out to be not correct. This training, if you're people-centric and connected, it helps you remove bias, get truth and true intent, and enhance your confidence. So I'm looking forward to seeing you there.
And it will enhance your confidence. The biggest risks we all have as small business owners, tax-paying small business owners and employing of workers to work for us, small business owners that we are, is you're so busy in your business, you forget about your self-development. And your competitors start winning over you and you start to panic about it a bit. And you get imposter syndrome and you think, I'm not good enough, and you get all this negative self-talk. You won't have any of that. It won't even enter your mind when you spend the day with Scott Taylor on his SPACCE program. Scott assisted me into this industry. He bravely supported me when I was flat broke, had no clients and in the cellar of no takers. He lifted me up. and helped me establish the leading investigation and government fraud control and security risk management RTO in Australia. I've just devoted 30 minutes of my life to supporting Scott to pay him back. Why? Because I know it works. Everything in his program is what he supported me with 18 years ago, and he's built on since. He's a gentleman of the industry, great guy. You won't go wrong with it. Thanks for watching, people. I hope you enjoyed those little tips. We'll see you next week, and we'll go out in our usual way. No, we won't.
작전 종료. 전원 복귀할 것.
No one had more fun than I did recording that session with Scott earlier this week. I find generally in my role, I learn more when the camera's switched off than I do than when the presentation's going on, with the casual chat after it. And that's Scott and I. That picture tells the story of, how passionate Scott was being about assisting people in this industry. Don't miss the opportunity, people. Links in the description. It's not expensive, and it's 25 times the value that they're asking for it. See you next week. I'm Mike Evans from the Australian Security Academy. Thanks for watching Australia Day.